Good afternoon, you are listening to live coverage and watching live coverage of Roses 2024 on University Radio York Belrig FM or via roseslive.co.uk. I'm your host Oliver Whitmore of the Men's Ones Football, one of the most anticipated fixtures of the Roses calendar every year, and it doesn't get bigger than this. A massive 4 points on offer for either York or Lancaster. It's arguably the biggest crowd that the Roses Pitch 1 just behind the Sports Centre has seen on a fairly blustery afternoon as the time just approaches 15:35. So the game kicking off just over 4 minutes late. We are sorry for the delay to the start of the match, but now here we are live on Pitch 1. A quick update of the current scores overall on Roses 2024. Lancaster currently leading the way with 110 points compared to York's 66. All pointed matches are crucial, and it doesn't get more crucial than this. York setting up with what appears to be a 4-2. No, they've gone for 3 at the back, it would seem. A 3-back formation with wing-backs. Lancaster 4 at the back. The game is underway, and Lancaster immediately have the ball in their back line. It's number 8 Jack Allen pressing immediately for Lancaster. A ball hit forward into the left channel, cleared away by Irish wing-back playing on the left, Keelan Lennon. So I'll give you a quick update of the squads for today, and starting with for the visitors York. In goal is number 1 Max Day. Well, I'll pause that momentarily as York come on the attack through the middle with Jack Allen. Strong header into the middle by Keelan Lennon. Ball is up in the air and York finally secure on the ground. That's number 11 Freddie Land, who is a international for Team GB's futsal squad. A free kick has gone against York, rather for a careless foul, which might have been committed by captain Ollie Gray, who's starting up top. Number 9 for York, 20 goals in 12 Bucks League games. He's the club's top scorer, and it's one to watch for the visiting side. To complete the visiting side squad, number 2 is Archie Henderson, number 4 Jake Stratton, number 5 Joshua Cayley, number 3 is Keelan Lennon, number 6 Freddie Lyons, number 7 Bradley Wood, number 8 Jack Allen, number 9 Ollie Gray, number 10 Connor Atwood, number 11 is Freddie Land, number 12 is Ben Sturgeon, number 14 is Luca Fraltero Sayer, number 15 Will Eller, number 16 is Sobechi, number 20 is Danny Fernandez, a centre midfielder scored in last year's Roses tournament and has actually played against Bournemouth winger Alex Scott in the past. Lancaster do have a corner on the right hand side. It's an outswinger which is taken low, fired low into the penalty, a dummy, a shot which is slightly scuffed into the ground. Yeah, the strike wasn't very clean, and Lancaster and York will clear away. Touched into the look half down the line by Freddie Lands. Offside flag has come up as the ball was hit long. That goes against number 11 Adam Egerton, the left winger for Lancaster in their 4-2-3-1 formation. The ball was secured by the goalkeeper's hands. It's Connor Atwood, now finds Keelan Lennon, fired into the midfield, but it's only found a red body. Edgerton seems to control, but he's lost possession to number 2 Archie Henderson, the right back. That's a decent switch along the ground too. Bradley Wood, product of Leeds Academy, a white rose through and through. He was caught offside there on the left wing. Now we bring you the Lancaster starting lineup. In goal is number 1 Reece Chatton, number 2 Matt Allen, number 5 Jack Critchlow, number 6 Darnell, number 3 Will Smith, number 4 is John Lowe, number 8 Nick Woodhams, number 10 and captain is Harry Topcliffe, winning his 2 previous Roses fixtures, number 7 is Ben Tunnicliffe, number 9 Charlie Simmons, and number 11 the ever active Adam Egerton playing on left wing. Lancaster now with a throw-in on the right wing as we look at it. In comes the throw. Chester touch. Strikes the body of Bradley Wood. No foul. And Lancaster still have possession in the corner, the front right corner of the pitch. It's eventually cleared off the field. Calls for a foul. It's been given against. Who is that? That looks to be the captain, Will Eller, number 9 for York. He's a target man through and through. Can he justify the number 9 on the back of his shirt as the ball is thrown back into the middle from York's goalkeeper, number 1 Max Day, and it hits the referee Cayley in centre back. Now Max Day. Switching the ball to York's number 4, which is Jake Stretton. His pass is eventually cleared away by Lancaster. And, no, sorry, it's actually a throw-in for Lancaster. It's a heavy touch, which I hadn't have just seen there. I apologise for the Atmos microphone, which may have picked up any people standing right next to it. They have been politely ushered away. As the throw comes in towards Edgerton. Touchdown on the left wing by Charlie Simmons. Ball eventually trickles through for a goal kick to York. No worries whatsoever. York are going into this one on the back of a second place finish in their Bucks League, narrowly missing out on the title. They're one of the league's top scorers, conceding the second lowest amount of goals. And P-Rose's season has consisted of 4 to 5 training sessions a week, up from 2 training sessions a week. They've had 2 friendlies before this match, winning 7-1 and 4-2 respectively, so we could expect lots of goals for York ones. York are winless, however, against Lancaster over the last 2 years, a 0-0 draw in 2022 and a 2-1 defeat the year after. They're looking to attack here with Bradley Wood, pressuring Lancaster's number 6, a lofted pass into the penalty from Bradley Wood, headed away at the first time of asking, and then cleared away further in centre midfield. Ball is now back in the York half, back it goes to Stretton. Takes the time on the ball, now across to Josh Cayley, pulled up from York 3s. Earlier in the campaign, making his Rose's debut. Keenan Lennon, good 1-2 with Bradley Wood. Off goes Keenan Lennon, the Irish wing back. He's eventually muscled off the ball by Ben Tunnicliffe, the right winger for Lancaster, who is showing promising signs going back as well as forward for Lancaster in defence and attack. Offside calls come against Lancaster as that ball was hit upfield against Charlie Simmons. For Lancaster, the counterpart to the number 9 for York, which is Ollie Gray. Josh Cayley taking the free kick. He's going to look to try and go long out to the left wing in Bradley Wood. Takes a touch and a look to test the Lancaster wing back here. Wide onto the edge of the penalty area. Ollie Gray. Ollie looks to take on. A very grey sky. So just joining us on University Radio York, BRG FM, or via roseslive.co.uk. You're watching coverage of Roses 2024, the men's football first fixture between York and Lancaster, currently stood at 0-0. Cross into the penalty towards the back post. There's a header, which is over the bar. Which I believe that was Freddie Lyons for York, number 11. Freddie Land, sorry, number 11. Right winger. He's looking to pop up with a goal in the opening 45 minutes. It's a brief stoppage now in the game as the Lancaster goalkeeper Rhys Chatton has his laces tied. Now the wind is starting to pick up now as the right-hand corner flag, on the left-hand corner flag for York, just in front of us, starts to pick up in this breezy, blustery afternoon. Which is playing host to the match between York and Lancaster men's first football team in front of a raucous crowd, the biggest crowd that Roses Pitch One has seen so far this Roses weekend. Nice touch through the middle from Charlie Simmons, and Lancaster will look to go at the middle of York's attack here, out to left in Edgerton, crosses into the penalty area, good defending, corner kick. Stretton there getting his body in the way of the cross from the left. And Lancaster are looking to make use of Edgerton, who's had a very promising start to the game. He's looked very lively in the opening 7 minutes of the match. Currently the score 0-0. Lancaster do have a corner here, a chance to test Max Day in his defence in the penalty area. In goes the cross, Edgerton's header off the bar, and it's still loose in the penalty area. Ball is eventually back with the captain, Harry Topless, crossed in towards the back post again. Charlie Simmons went up, good defending, and it's now Hello, if you're just joining us live on roseslive.co.uk, you want University Radio and Berwick FM. This is our live coverage of Roses 2024. This is the men's first football fixture, which is currently 0-0 between York and Lancaster. A very promising start for York, who's shown some attacking prowess down the left wing, but the same can be said for Lancaster with Adam Edgerton, whose header just recently from the corner on the left-hand side rattled the crossbar. They have got one from the right. Top is over to take it once more. His right foot out-swinging corner into the penalty area. Edgerton's up there again. Header from Josh Cayley, strong, and away goes the ball. It's Ollie Gray, the forward for York, and their captain, with doing his job defensively as much going forward. He'll be looking for a goal today. He's their top scorer, 20 goals in 12 league games. So he'll be looking to get a goal for York and get them ahead early on. It would really kill the raucous home atmosphere as people cheering and the home crowd cheering on their players. I can see banners, cardboard banners held aloft in the air as well. As the throw-in now comes in, it's flicked onwards. Connor Atwood tries to clear it, he slices it up into the air, and he does well to prevent it going out for a corner. Jack Allen now pressing out on the right wing, knocked there in between Jack Allen and Connor Atwood. Keelan Lennon clears that ball away and into the crowd. He's not going to let Ben Tunnicliffe progress in between the two midfielders there. Midfield pair playing for James College Football Club back in York. Throw in from the right hand side, in it comes. It's a long throw, it's aloft into the penalty area. Josh Cayley, strong header away. Ball eventually bounces into the penalty area, and that's the number 6, Freddie Lyons, who gets it clear for York. He's not messing around. Throw in again. A nice neat little flick back from York's Lancaster's number 4, John Lowe. Ball is now back with Darnell. Darnell knocks it onto the edge of the penalty area. Long shot comes in, decent effort straight at Max Day. First shot on target of the day for York. That came after Adam Edgerton rattled the crossbar from a corner with a header. He's not the tallest player on the pitch either, so he's done well to connect. Now attacking down the right-hand side, crossed into penalty low, and it's going to be picked up. I am joined by a certain
hello.
Hedges.
Yes, hello.
Very loud.
It'll be this one.
But it is nice to have you along.
Hello.
Sam, how are you feeling?
Well, feeling kind of stressed, to be honest. The stream didn't start off the best, but you know, we'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Now out for a goal kick for York, it's taken short by Max Day, and it's now knocked into the centre, and Connor Atwood now back with Stretton. Sam, what have you made of the opening few chances for York and Lancaster?
Do you know what? It's showing up they're very equally matched here. Neither side seems to be too heavily favoured. I'm really excited to see how this game goes. I could see it being like a 0-0-1-1 sort of game going to penalties, and that's really exciting.
Well, the game will not go to penalties in the event of a draw. The points will be split.
Really?
In the event, yeah, that is the case. The points will be split in the event of a draw. Ball now hit direct, looking for Charlie Simmons. Not going to trouble the York defence too much into the arms of Max Day. Rolled out to Josh Cayley. Josh Cayley now taking his time on the ball. Eventually finds Jake Stretton, his centre-back partner for the day. Now out to the right. Good pressure from Edgerton. And a throw-in will follow now for York. Bit of a blustery day it's now turning into, isn't it, Sam?
It's very rainy. I have to say I was very worried for our equipment, but we've made it out here, well on air. I'm very excited to see these two teams go together. Do you have any predictions on where we're going to end up?
Well, I think, based on the history of this fixture, that it's normally a very high-scoring fixture, so you can definitely see plenty of goals coming. York have had a very good preparation so far for this game prior to Roses. 7-1 and 5-2 wins in pre-Roses friendlies. Lancaster, their preparations for Roses were summarised, were described by the Lancaster captain, number 10, Harry Topless, in one word: good. If you're just joining us live on University Radio York, Berwick FM, or over at roseslive.co.uk, welcome to official coverage of the men's ones football fixture at Roses 2024. There's Connor Atwood distributing the ball out to the right wing. And it's just did well there, using his body to get in front, in between the man and the ball. And Lancaster now back with Darnell. Still in their left back position, Lancaster, and they've earned themselves a throw in. Talk to me about the atmosphere, Sam, here at Roses Pitch 1. I remarked it may well be the best that this pitch has seen so far this Roses weekend.
Yes, it's a bit blustery, a bit rainy, but there's so many people out here today. You can hear them, they're all really sort of very, very cheery, very happy. I think everyone's really excited to see the fixture. I'm very excited to see what this might end up, because although you said that York has won both our friendlies, I think that the Lancaster team have been quietly improving.
Yes, quite indeed.
It's interesting to see.
They've come the closest. They've hit the bar from a corner early on. That was Adam Edgerton, who's at Edgerton. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've had about 3 different variants, 3 different goes now. Not the tallest player on the pitch either. Defensive header there, out to the left wing. Bradley Wood goes chasing after it, but he's happy for the corner to come for York, and he might take this short. He does. There's Conor Atwood offering his services out on the left wing. Crosses into the penalty. Talks about post. Decent header! Oh, and it's just wide. Freddie Land.
Yeah, York here really showing their dominance though still. I think that we are seeing sort of the reason why they did win all those friendlies with that sort of skill on the pitch.
Indeed, Conor Atwood, I believe it's his 3rd Roses, or it might be his 2nd Roses actually. I'll have to check that fact for you listening live on University Radio Oxford FM or watching via roseslive.co.uk. Here's Darnell with the ball in the back line for Lancaster, goes direct towards Edgerton. He's looking to flick on the header, and I think he might have done that as well to his captain Harry Topless. He's come out wide, he's driving at the heart of the York defence here, headed away and then cleared by Josh Cayley. No problems there.
Yeah, York are just going to bat that sort of thing away.
Oh, Bradley Wood there, pouncing on a loose ball, and he looks to play it over the top. Darnell does well, number 6. There, Darnell does well. Number 6 for Lancaster, clearing it away. As you might be able to hear a train whooshing past there in the background. It's coming through my headphones. Ball now on the right wing with Tunnicliffe for Lancaster. Skips past Bradley Wood. Keelan Lennon now looking to make sure it doesn't progress. Great sliding challenge from Freddie Land.
York is really trying to take out our camera operator there though.
Yes, in fact the ball did smack the billboard right in front of one of our lovely camera operators, but no damage done there to the camera operator or the camera, thankfully. Conor Atwood heading away. He's going to challenge for it again, and against Lancaster's number 8, which is Nick Woodhams. Here's Tunnicliffe crossing over to the penalty, deflected, and an effort from Harry Topless, claims for handball. Of one of the York defenders. That might have been Jake Stratton, their back defending, but the ball judged to have been too close for him to react by the referee, and so play will continue on with Josh Cayley in left wing. Now Keelan Lennon. Conor Atwood, that's a decent turn. Looks to play it through towards Bradley Wood. That was first pass didn't quite progress. The second one did, but then Bradley Wood had straight into an offside position. Sam has returned to the gantry.
Yeah, sorry there. We've just gotten control of the remote, so we're going to be able to show the score.
For the first time here down our little
gazebo.
TP gazebo tent.
A Lucy Events gazebo.
Lucy Events gazebo, courtesy of Lucy. Thank you for providing that for us. Ball now runs loose into the midfield, picked up by Jack Allen, and it's now
Lancaster needs to be careful here.
Yes, it's a terrific run down the right wing, and calls for a foul. They're not going to be given. And so a corner kick has been given there. A lot-stitch challenge was judged to have been legal by the referee, and York will have to settle for the corner. It's Freddie Land, who is a member of Team GB Futsal.
Really?
Yes, he's an international, he's an Olympian.
Wow.
You could say. Well, if futsal is played at the Olympic Games, which I'm not sure it is, but I'd say an international level of sport in a compacted version of football is it's quite impressive.
We really do get quite a few high-level sportsmen, high-level sports people on the pitch. I'm really excited to see sort of their footwork today. You can see at the moment that York are really stronger side, and that's a corner from York.
Indeed, and it's dealt with well by Lancaster. Now look to play it early over the top of the defence. Charlie Simmons, Max Day comes striding out of his goal, and he's done well there. So just clear the ball away, no risks, no qualms, no questions. Throw into Lancaster.
They really need to get quite a few footballs for this game, because honestly they keep on kicking them out.
They do. Well, I don't think there are any ball boys on the side of the pitch either. It's, I think that's the role of the extensive crowd and very lively crowd we have off to.
It's got bigger,
left.
honestly.
It's continued swelling since the game started. There's a long throw into the penalty area. Connor Atwood heads it away. And Jack Allen goes chasing after it. Plays it first time looking for Captain Ollie Gray. Darnell touches it away. Offside flag is up against Ollie Gray, which that really implies that it's quite difficult to see from where we're standing, but that implies that Lancaster are playing quite a high line.
Yes, I believe that they have gone in on offence here. Sometimes the best defence is a good defence, and do you know what, it's sort of proving to be right here. Exciting times, I have to say.
Exciting times indeed. If you're just joining us, it's currently 0-0 between York and Lancaster's men's ones football side. Stick around on Roses Live, .co.uk for updates and live streams of all of the current fixtures being played. That's loose at the back from York, and Lancaster will look to punish them here. Shot low, which is saved comfortably by Matt Stay. But that is a warning sign, isn't it, from Charlie Simmons?
They've really been quite carrying on in that York defence. I wonder which is going to give way first, though, the Lancaster offence or the York defence here.
We'll just have to see, so stick around with us live on roseslive.co.uk, or if you're listening in via University Radio York or University Radio York's counterpart from across the Pennines, Bailrig FM. Throw in for Lancaster in their right back position. There it goes. Keelan Lennon goes up and wins the ball. Top list there goes battling for the ball. Charlie Simmons tries to nod it down to himself there, trying to control the ball. Stratton has made a neat first time pass into Freddie Land. Good challenge there on the right wing, and the ball has gone out for a corner kick. I think I keep confusing Freddie Land and Freddie Lyons. Freddie Land is the Team GB futsal player, number 11, playing on the right wing for York. In the centre of midfield or centre half position, I should say, is one of a three centre back system, is Freddie Lyons. 20 minutes gone. It's currently 0-0 between York and Lancaster. York have a corner and have looked to threaten from set pieces, but it was actually Lancaster that have come the closest with a header off the crossbar from Edgerton. In comes the corner now. In towards the back post. Lyons goes up for it, and that's blocked. Bradley Wood now looks to try and create a shooting opportunity from the left at a tight angle. Shot hasn't come in just yet. The ball's very loose on the edge of the penalty. A pinball, then a shot, which is eventually into the arms of the goalkeeper. That was Josh Cayley, who tried to find the net with a long shot there.
Lancaster need to be careful because York can get very good off those corner kicks very quickly.
Indeed, they can. Currently 0-0.
They've been giving away quite a few, and I think it just goes to show maybe the difference in these two teams.
Yeah. And he claimed a foul, but the foul was not forthcoming, and York will have to settle for a throw-in their left-back position. There's Keelan Lennon, who has experience playing with a very high level of, or at a very high level of Northern Irish youth football.
Oh wow!
And he's also quite the danger from a free kick, from a set piece. He does like to say he is known for taking free kicks.
Well, we can see why he was going for that penalty there.
Indeed, maybe he'll pop up with something later on. Here's Edgerton, now goes back to Darnell in centre-back position. The ball eventually trickles out. Heavy touch from Lancaster's number 3, their left-back, which is none other than Will Smith. No, not the Will Smith, just another Will Smith. A Will Smith that happens to play football and be a student at Lancaster. There's a strong header from the player in question there, Jack Allen, winning a throw on the right. Just on halfway. 22 minutes gone. Of course, this game will award 4 points to the winning team. 2 points each. In the event of a draw, the points will be split. Here is Keelan Lennon on the left-hand side. Back now with Bradley Wood. Now Keelan Lennon on the left wing, winning a corner for Lancaster. We have some new co-commentators that have joined me on the gantry here. Guys, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Aaron Green.
Hi, I'm Matt Jackson.
And you represent Lancaster, would that be right?
We indeed do, yes.
Which I represent, well, part of student media, I do represent York as a head of production for URY, so balances out, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're going to try and give a balanced and fair account of the game.
Indeed we are.
And try and put our bias aside.
Indeed. There is a corner from Connor Atwood, which takes right towards the back post, and it trickles narrowly wide. I think that came off the body of Freddie Lyons there, number 6 centre-back for York in their 3 centre-back setup. Guys, what have you made of the game so far?
I think it's been quite evenly matched. It's been quite scrappy. I think the pitch definitely serves a part in that. It's been quite... The bounces have been going very far today, all game long. Obviously, there's been 3 games on this pitch now as well, so it scrambles it up a little bit. But yeah, it's been very evenly matched, very physical. But it's what you'd expect from Uni Ones. It's the fitness is high. It's very physical.
Indeed, and that's what you like to see from a game of football, isn't it? The rules are there to ensure the player's safety and are encouraged to not be bent in any way. But and do you think they've done that quite successfully if they adhere to the rules so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think inevitably it's a contact sport. You get a few tackles flying in, but ultimately it's in the sport of the of the game. So yeah, no harm done in terms of the tackles.
So there's Edgerton on the left hand side sliding in with a challenge, and York win a throw in their right back position. Who are some of the standout performers, do you think, on a regular basis for Lancaster, who we should be looking out for today?
I mean, so there's Will Smith at the left
Not
back
the Will
for
Smith,
Lancaster.
just Abel Smith.
Not the Will Smith.
Not I Am Legend Will Smith.
But just Will Smith, born and raised in Bolton College.
Chance for
Chance
York
here, Connor Atwood crossing in from the right hand side, and that's Bradley Wood who's cutting in the inside forward. He can't quite get there, and so it's now in the right back position for Lancaster. Away it goes, headed down by Freddie Lyons. It's a neat header into Connor Atwood, who has to chase after the ball, but he's done well to secure possession for York. Now Stretton looks to go direct down the right hand side. York's number 2 goes after it. He's battling well and eventually has to concede a goal kick. That heavy touch taking the ball out of play. Player number 2 in question for York is Archie Henderson.
Be interested to know your take on how you think travelling for the York players affects their performance. Do you think it's a disadvantage?
It's a really interesting point. I think there is an element. Travelling is. I've always said travelling is quite it's quite tiresome to actually travel, let alone to rock up and play games this high level. It's I think it will definitely have an effect, but some of these players are very, very capable, I'm sure, both on York and Lancaster's teams. It's more so, I'd say, the home advantage. Here's Bradley Wood. Can he silence that home advantage? Shots from the left-hand side, and it is a good effort. It's cleared the crossbar, but not by much. But yes, I think it is. Would you say that it's the home atmosphere that will possibly provide the best advantage for Lancaster?
I think so. Yeah, I think this bank on the left-hand side here is really cheering on the home crowd. And I think it's really indicative of how the lads are playing, and how Lancaster will play the whole day really. The home crowd cheering them on. You can hear the little pockets of York in amongst the crowd, but it's very evident to see how the teams are playing.
Chance there for York. Oh, offside.
The offside flag is indeed up, and a free kick now will follow for Lancaster. If you're just tuning in via roseslive.co.uk or on University Radio York, or our counterparts across the Pennine Berwick FM, this is coverage of the Roses 2024 men's football first fixture between York and Lancaster stood at 0-0 for now. Free kick for York. I apologise, that was not an offside. That was a foul against a York player. Can't quite see who is taking that free kick. It's on the right wing. They'll look to bend it in there. Some very tall figures there in the penalty area for York. Can Lancaster deal with this set piece? It's Keelan Lennon. Cross is headed away, but not by much. The shot is eventually blocked onto the penalty area. Now with Jack Callan, who tries a long shot, but that's not going to trouble the goalkeeper for Lancaster.
There's a big scramble every set piece, it seems, on both ends. There's the ball is dropping at below head level, and there's a big scramble every time. So I think set pieces are definitely going to be an avenue for both teams to maybe open scoring here.
Indeed it will. Lancaster, well, indeed it could be Lancaster with possession now, going direct again to the left wing. There's Stretton clearing the ball up, not so much away, and it's dropped just below just in front of the dugouts. I believe that's the away dugout for York. Throw in to Lancaster. They're looking to get on with this one to try and get themselves in front within the first half. Neither side has managed an early goal. No side, would you say no side has really managed to command the game so far?
Yeah, it's been very cagey. A lot of possession in midfield. I think it's screaming out for a moment of quality from someone on the pitch. Obviously, 22 very capable footballers on the pitch.
How does the song go? I need a hero. That's certainly the case for the either sets of fans off to our left-hand side. The biggest crowd that Roses Pitch 1 has seen thus far in the Roses weekend, without doubt.
I think it's waiting for that first goal. I'm not sure at the moment who it's coming for, but I'm sure that there will be a goal coming, and then I think the game will start opening up a little bit more.
Indeed so.
And we'll see some more attempts on goal.
Corner kick. We might see one here with a corner for Lancaster. It's not the first one they've had on this right-hand side, and it will be taken by the captain, Harry Topliss, who's won his 2 last Roses fixtures with Lancaster. Can he make that number 3? In goes the corner now. It's a header, which has hit Darnell. Not quite what he intended there. He was just an innocent bystander in that header. The captain looking to cross him from the left-hand side. It's a good block, and now it's Freddie Ladd looking to get York away, and a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss there from Ollie Gray, the captain. It will be a free kick. It's cynical, I would say.
Potentially. One of those, I think, as we alluded to before, in the heat of the moment, high intensity game, these things can happen. So, yellow card, slap on the wrist, and move on, I think, for that one.
I think that yellow card was met with a multitude of applause there from the home fans on the left-hand side. It's an interesting game, I think, as well, and the pitch as well. I think these players have seen the Uni 2s and College A's football this morning. We've had a bit of rain, so you've seen how the football's been moving around and bouncing around, a lot of water on the pitch. But now, since it's stopped raining, I think it's interesting to see how the pitch is different. It's drying up slightly, the ball's moving a little bit differently. So it's about the players adapting on the pitch, I think.
Absolutely, the players will have to adapt also to the weather as well. And it's not just mucking up the pitch, the weather as a sort of a power that the weather has, but I've also heard people say it makes players automatically more aggressive in play.
Interesting.
Corner taken from the right-hand side, and it goes. Freddie lines it up and gets the ball away. Connor Atwood goes after it, number 10 for York, and it's to flick it with his heel over the head of Lancaster's Nick Woodhams. He does so, but it's come to nothing. Nick Woodhams there looking to play the ball forward. He's missed it, and now the ball's out with Archie Henderson. Oh, and didn't look too much like a heavy touch, but I don't think he realised how close the touchline on the right-hand side was, and he's may have realised there was a bit more space than what he realised. And the throw in now for Lancaster on the left.
It's one of those things. I think there's a long time in the game to go. I think mistakes like that can happen now, but as we get towards the 90-minute mark, especially towards the half-time mark, it can really affect the players' morale. They need to shore up those
swinging from side to side. Eventually, captain Lancaster gets it down, and now it's out with the right-hand side, and Tunnicliffe cuts inside of Gillen Lennon. By Josh Cayley, good defending there. Bradley Wood is standing on ceremony. He has the ball now on the left-hand side. He looks to take on Matt Allen here for Lancaster, and he looks to play a pass with the outside of the boot into captain Ollie Gray. But it has gone straight. Lancaster now in possession in the middle of the pitch. Out to Lancaster's captain, Harry Topliss. Bradley Wood nipping in with the challenge, and then Lancaster come in with a challenge of their own. Josh Cayley there eventually heading away. Topliss heads it down. Lancaster looking to try and make something of what's been a decent spell of possession in the last minute or so. A decent turn in the midfield. It's up to Edgerton, challenging Josh Cayley for the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Good strength from York centre back. Here is John Lowe. Now into Charlie Simmons. A decent turn, sliding challenge from Freddie Lines away goes to the ball, but York struggling to get out of their penalty area here. Onside, judges the assistant, is the captain Topliss on the right wing. Crosses with his left boot. Freddie Lines clears the way, but I don't think that's the direction he wanted it to go.
No, again, a bit of a swing and a miss, I think, there, and anywhere is fine, but I think he would have preferred a bit further up the pitch and look for a corner.
A lot of corners, though, York have conceded. And that's the sign, would you say, that they've defended their box very stalwartly?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's partially that, but I think this is partially what we were talking about before with the pitch. I think the ball's wet, the pitch is wet. You're not quite sure where the ball's going to go. swing your foot at it, but with it being so slippy, you're just not quite sure where the ball's going to end up. I think York will be very happy that that's ended out of the corner and it's not been an accidental own goal.
There he is again, Harry Topless. Corner to be taken now for Lancaster. Outswing with the right boot into the penalty area, into the middle. Header is, and hits the crossbar. Edgerton overhead kick attempt, doesn't quite get there. And the ball is eventually headed away by Ollie Gray. Second time Lancaster hit the crossbar, second time they've done it from a corner. Bradley Wood there, back defending. Is judged to have been tripped by the referee, and a free kick now for York. And do you think that'll give them an opportunity just to settle now after
I think
2 scares now from corners?
It's been quite a hectic last sort of 5 or 10. A lot of play down the wings, which has probably led to the high amount of corners that we're seeing. As I said before, I think corners and set pieces in general are probably the avenue at the moment. Be interesting to see how the game develops in the second half. If it remains 0-0, perhaps it's on the
Ollie Gray up against Darnell. He's through one on the goalkeeper. Looks to finish, and he has! Into the bottom corner. It's their top scorer. Threaded through with a neat. So much to the travelling support in this crucial 4-point fixture. It is York who take the lead against the run on the play. Lancaster may have struck the bar twice in the opening opening 35 minutes of the game from 2 set pieces, but that was really an advanced forwards goal.
Yeah, a bit more direct, I think, from York. Just that one bit of quality, that through ball, and then the finish into the far corner was a good one. Proper striker's finish. So great finish from the York forward there.
As you say as well, it's against the run of play. I think the York players there gesturing to their fans in the crowd, trying to get the support up, trying to get a bit of the hype and a bit of the vibes up. Try and ride this wave as long as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crucial for the away team, having less fans to keep the momentum going, and to give the fans something to cheer about, because obviously the voices of the Lancaster fans are going to be louder in general, but if you give something for the away fans to cheer about, then you get your boost from that as well.
Indeed. If you're just joining us, York have just taken the lead against Lancaster in the football men's ones game here at Roses 2024. Lancaster have shown more threats, especially from set pieces. Two headers off the crossbar, but it was Ollie Gray to silence the raucous home support, threaded through after a neat through ball from the midfield in behind the pretty high Lancaster back line. And the deadlock has been broken 35 minutes into the game. York 1-0. Can Lancaster threaten again from a set piece? It's deflected into the arms of Max Day, who has had quite a fair amount to do, and he's looked like he's up for it, certainly.
Yeah, some good claims. It's really important, as we've said, we mentioned a few times about the wet pitch and the wet ball. It can be a bit more difficult for keepers to hold on to the ball, but yeah, he's done a good job so far.
Charlie Simmons there looking to profit on a loose ball within the old back line. It's dealt with, and Jack Allen was fouled, brought to ground by Lancaster's number 4 in midfield, John Lowe, who has also won his last 2 Roses fixtures alongside his captain Harry Topless in midfield. But that record, is it under threat, or do you think Lancaster can find a way back into this game?
Well, it's early doors. I think Lancaster will certainly be looking for something in this first half. If they can get something late on, it's obviously a big boost into half time. It changes the nature of the team talk. Yeah, I think it's a fairly even game. Difficult to tell from now, but long way to go.
Yes, apologies for that sniff from me. My nose starting to run a little bit. It's picked up.
It's cold out today.
It's not particularly warm in the north of England if you can suspend your disbelief.
Oh, now that is a pretty poor challenge from Edgerton, and the referee has no doubt. I think the yellow card is coming out straight away on Archie Henderson. The studs were up there. It's in the right back position. A sliding tackle, and the ball is completely missed. Archie Henderson is down, but he's just sat up. He is hopefully okay. Edgerton, that's a good sign there, isn't it? Just
it's good
a high five to apologise, but nonetheless.
I don't think there was any complaints. There was no boos, no cheers from the
yellow
crowd.
card there? I
believe so, yeah. I think yellow card went up. There were no boos, no cheers from the crowd, so I think everyone was in agreement there.
Yes. Free kick taken into the Lancaster half, and it's not going to trouble anybody there. Through and into the arms of the goalkeeper Rhys Shatton. hoping I'm pronouncing everyone's names correctly.
There'll be one. There's always going to be one that you're getting wrong, but
There is. Here's Bradley Wood. That's a pretty easy name. It's deflected into the path of Connor Atwood. Nice reverse pass to Bradley Wood on the left wing. Tackle. And Lancaster right back. Matt Allen stops that from going out for a throw-in. Josh Cayley making his Roses debut with the ones this afternoon. Now Stretton. Back across to Josh Cayley. He takes his time. Now looks to play a direct ball onto the left wing. Bradley Wood is absolutely steaming forward, and Will Allen clears the ball away and into the crowd. No ball boys on standby, ready to retrieve the ball. That's the job of the home and away support to our left-hand side.
perhaps difficult to sneak into the budget.
Do you know what? I would be surprised if that was the case, actually. But I'm no Lusu lead, Roses lead. I'm no Roses lead at all. As a matter of fact, we are merely your humble commentators for the men's first football fixture from York and Lancaster. The visitors 1-0 up, and they do have a corner here. Lancaster threatened from corners so far. 2 headers off the crossbar. Can York do the same? In goes the corner towards the front post, headed away. Ollie Gray goes after it, but Keelan Lennon says, leave it to me, and delivers a cross into the penalty area. Pinpoint, oh, it's a good effort, and it's hit back towards goal by Archie Henderson.
Speculative, perhaps.
Speculative, yes. Always worth an effort, would you say, from that position?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I think there's been a little bit of a turn of play now. I think York are starting to press a little bit more. Lancaster are sitting back and hopefully scrambling the ball away. I think York are taking advantage of this 1-0 lead, try and take the 1-0 lead into the half-time mark.
Which we are swiftly approaching. We really do want this to last forever, but Rollins only comes around once a year, this match, for only 90 minutes. And Lancaster now with a goal kick, which they've taken. And Freddie Lyons there, number 6, heads it away. Part of the back 5 for York, with the very attacking wing-backs Keelan Lennon and Archie Henderson. How do you think they've fared so far?
I think it's fairly evenly matched across the whole pitch, really. It's a very competitive game physically. There's not been much of play on the ground, to feet. A lot of headers, but that's what you expect from ones. These guys are top university athletes, so
Indeed, so they are top, the finest, you'd say, the finest that York and Lancaster Uni football has to offer. Throw in for Lancaster now on the right-hand side. Will Allen throws. Tunnicliffe runs after it. Charlie Simmons tries to control it with his chest, but the ball runs out for a throw-in. Connor Allen goes off to retrieve it, and he drops it onto the turf, leaves it for Keelan Lennon. Keelan Lennon now taking a few steps up, which the referee's okay with, and delivers his throw-in, headed away. Gets the ball back, and a challenge comes in. It's quite a hefty one.
Strong challenge.
Free kick given to Lancaster. Keelan Lennon's not happy, and I think he's making that quite clear to the referee.
Yes. You have to fight your corner, don't you?
I think we've had that all day in all the football matches that we've seen. I think you can see the passion between the players. Very vocal with the referee. They want it to go their way.
Here's Archie Henderson. No, it's not Archie Henderson. It's Freddie Land. And he's challenged strongly. Throw in to York on their right wing position. 42 minutes played. Lancaster 0, York City 1. York City? York United. York, not City, not York City, not York United. York University, that's the one. That's the word beginning with U that I was looking for.
Getting too swept up in Manchester football there, I think.
Quite. Throw in. Henderson will take it. It's a long throw into the penalty area. Darnell does want to head it away. There's Edgerton, clears it further into the York half.
Apologies if you can hear that noise in the background. I believe there seems to be some sort of celebrations from the Lancaster women's rugby team behind us. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but
if you're just joining us live on the main feed of Rose's 2024 coverage, that'll be on your University Radio York Bellrig FM and over at roseslive.co.uk. You're listening and watching the coverage of the men's football first fixture between York and Lancaster. Score currently 1-0. The visitors are leading as we approach half time. The loose ball is away, to the left wing, and that's a solid tackle from Tunnicliffe on Keelan Lennon, throw in, and that did please the home fans, didn't it?
Those are the sorts of tackles you love to see as a supporter, you know, clean but firm, winning the ball, but showing the passion, and that's what you want as a fan.
Indeed so. Ball out now for, is that a throw or a free kick? It is a free kick. The referee's not blown for the fact Josh Cayley's carried the ball onto the pitch. Ball not an active play just yet. The referee blows his whistle. Now it is. Delivered over the top of the Lancaster defence. Bradley Wood, left winger, goes after it. Too much on it. Throw into Lancaster. Yeah, I'm not sure what sort of... I'm not sure what's going on behind us. I'm trying to figure out which sport that was. It was doing, I think, a celebration victory performance or routine.
It's the women's rugby, if I'm not mistaken, who it seems must have won their game. It's going on right behind us, and they're indulging in some celebrations.
For all of the updates.
I've just been confirmed, sorry, that the women's rugby for Lancaster have just won their fixtures just behind us. That's what that celebration was.
There you are, thank you. That's a key fixture again, which has swung in Lancaster's favour for updates on the scores overall as things stand, and all the updates from the fixtures this weekend as they come in. Head to roseslive.co.uk. Lennon now is challenged by Tunnicliffe. Tunnicliffe, or is that? Yes, I figured that wasn't Tunnicliffe. A bit too tall, number 4. John Lowe crossing to the penalty area. It's headed away and now hoofed away by Connor Atwood. Darnell looks to deliver the ball with his head right back into the York half, and the ball has found its way to Edgerton. Good headers there for Lancaster. Cross taken quickly, deflected out and behind for a corner.
Some claims are offside there, I think, but I think the linesmen today have done a pretty good job overall.
I think that's what Max Day was shouting, was trying to convey to the linesman on our left-hand side. The offside, though, was not forthcoming.
Big opportunity this, right before half-time, if they can get a goal from here, Lancaster, that'll sweeten the deal.
We've seen them threaten twice before. Can they do it again? It's up into the air, headed away. Darnell heads it back into the penalty area, headed away once again by the captain, Ollie Gray. Bradley Wood looks to touch it past Will Allen. He's done well to block it, and that signals half-time in the men's football first fixture at Roses 2024. York winless in their last 2 Roses fixtures against Lancaster, and 0-0 in 2022, a 2-1 defeat in the year after. But they are leading as we go into half-time. It is Lancaster 0, York 1. Gents, talk me through your analysis, your main takeaways of the first half.
I think again, super even game physically, and I think in terms of quality as well. A couple of moments in the first half of quality. One of the first times York really go direct with a splitting ball was where they got their joy. So I think, to be honest, both captains or both managers will be asking for more of the same in terms of the commitment. Again, it's about those moments of quality in these games. It's 22 very good football players, but it's about those moments of quality that split the game.
Indeed, the crowd just starting to break a little bit as people go off in to get their half-time refreshments or half-time food. If you're about on campus this weekend and you're looking for a good bit of street food, then head over to the front of the Sports Village. There are some delectable options for you. I had a gourmet burger yesterday. It's a gourmet burger stand. Beef. They offer different types of meat for your burger as well. I think what was it? I think it was beef, mutton, I think, and then wild boar, I think, was the third option. There's some Greek street food as well, so if any of that tickles your fancy, then head over there.
I would personally recommend the pulled pork baps. We had one of those yesterday, didn't we? They were very, very nice. Lovely welcome into the weekend to start the weekend off.
I think that's where I'm going to be going after this fixture has concluded. Certainly, which I'd recommend you do as well. But just bringing it back to the game at hand, Lancaster threatened more so than York in that first half with 2 headers off the crossbar from set pieces. Was it about just being more clinical?
Yeah, absolutely. I think how many times do we hear commentators and pundits talk about, even at the top level, it's about taking the chances, it's about making the right decision. It's difficult as a striker. I'm sure all of these guys have got adrenaline through the roof. Big crowds and a huge game, obviously biggest game of the year for both teams. So it's about staying calm under pressure, and like you say, a bit more clinical from Lancaster perhaps. A lot of possession in good areas and corners, but no, I would say clear-cut splitting open play chance from Lancaster so far.
I think you've got to remember as well, this is for the Lancaster as the home team, this is potentially their only home roses that they're going to see. If they're a second year this year and they're only a 3-year course, it's the only home roses they're going to see. There's a lot of pressure from this big crowd that's up on the hill behind us next to the sports centre. I think it's really important for them to show off what they're able to do and utilise the home crowd. And again, even for York, if they're second year and this is their only away roses, to really put an impact in, if they were to win the fixture away, it really, really does a lot for morale, and then they can go into next year potentially with the off the team.
I think you're absolutely spot on about the passion and the real drive, especially if this is the last roses of some of these players when they're going into the challenges. But focusing on the challenges specifically, we've seen a yellow card already. So how important is it to keep your discipline going into the second half? Yeah,
I think it's perhaps more dependent on your position. I think as a midfielder or a defender, getting an early yellow card can really affect your ability to be physical. Obviously you have that threat of a red card looming over you. So it perhaps, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, I can't really be as committed in these challenges because I risk being sent off if I mistime it. So yeah, I think for a midfielder or a defender, it's more important. And yeah, I think the good teams will target the players with a yellow card for we're not saying that teams want to get other players sent off, but there is that in the back of your mind where you're very aware of the fact that they're on a yellow.
There is the depth of the squad as well. If you're on a yellow card, it looks a bit touchy. You can always be taken off. You can see here on the pitch right now, you've got the Lancaster substitutes are warming up, testing the touches, long balls across the pitch. They clearly want to get on the pitch. They're itching to get on there and make their impact on the pitch.
If you're just joining us live on the main stream, welcome to coverage of Roses 2024, one of the most highly anticipated fixtures of the Roses weekend. It is York versus Lancaster, the football first teams, and it's York who have the advantage at half-time. It's currently Lancaster 0, York 1, the visitors going in front, courtesy of a neat and tidy finish from captain Ollie Gray. 20 goals in 12 appearances before these Roses fixture. That's in the Bucks League, in which York finished second, just missing out on the league title. But Lancaster have had some successes of their own prior to Roses. They've managed to stay in their division. I can't remember off the top of my head which division that is, so I'm going to consult my my notes. That is the Northern Tier 2 Bucks division. And to survive in those divisions and to sort of get out of those relegation battles, you really need the nit and grit, don't you? And would you say that Lancaster have brought that to this match so far?
Yeah, I think you can see that they're determined, as a team. It's at the point in the year where this group of players have played together for a while. Obviously, the nature of university football is the group changes every year. So it's difficult at first, I think, playing with a new team. But these guys are well aware, and they'll have a game plan, and they'll be trying to execute that. But yeah, they'll be compact. I don't think anything will be given away in this game. I think, as I said before, it's moments of quality. Nothing will be given away.
They'll have to earn it, won't they? It won't be given away. They'll really have to earn it.
York players just starting to get back out onto the pitch. Of course, Lancaster players went back into the sports centre off to our left-hand side when they are out, as well as the referee. The second half will be well and truly back underway. Should we have a look at the scores overall for Roses so far this weekend? We have had an update of the overall scores. Lancaster continuing to extend their advantage over York. The score currently 114 to York's 68. Still plenty to play for, but that lead is not so slender anymore.
No, I think obviously you see so often, the the home team or the home university has an obvious advantage. We've talked about it before, you know, travelling a lot. You know, if you're playing in the morning, especially, it's a very early start, isn't it? So it perhaps plays a part. Yeah, it's, as you say, a lot to play for. Still a full day of fixtures, so yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out. I don't think anything will be taken for granted.
And of course, a lot of the fixtures are not scored at all. I think the term is exhibition matches, one of which being the Vice-Chancellor's table tennis match, which you are able to catch coverage of over at razorslive.co.uk. I have forgotten when exactly that will be taking place, or whether it has already concluded. Some of the streams available to you right now on roserslive.co.uk if something other than football tickles your fancy. We have the Rugby Union Women's Second, which I think in fact has ended. First match is live, as is the Basketball Women's First. You can also find the Darts Women's First, the Hockey Outdoor Women's Second match, and the Table Tennis Open Second. So key to the points total. Current points target for either university is 172.5. And that would be quite some showing if either university manages to attain that number, especially for York with the position they're in at the moment.
Yes, definitely. I would say though, every point matters, and you know, the most important fixture to each athlete is the one they're playing in. So plenty to play for yet.
I think it's really important as well. Even if your match is 1 point, 2 points, 4 points, any point, as Aaron said, can really make a difference. 172 seems like a big target, but anything that these athletes can do to make an impact on that total can really impact. I think it's interesting to see as well the points difference at this point as it was compared to last year. I think Lancaster was slightly further ahead than they are this year. Maybe that's a bit more indicative of how the matches are going. Maybe it's home advantage has been a bit too much pressure. What do you think, Aaron?
Well, I think it's also indicative of, as we said, the groups change every year. You know, you have students move on and graduate. You have, you know, new first-year students come through. So the quality or the relative quality of each team changes every year. So, you know, I think that these fixtures, these uni firsts football, have been quite even in the past few years, and that's probably indicative of the fact that they've had a good intake every year. But you know, especially for smaller sports with a smaller team, you know, things like netball and basketball, it matters a lot, the sort of intake that you get and the players that you lose. So I think that's a big impact on perhaps the variance in points.
Years really isn't a big window for the turnover. There's a lot of turnover in these teams. Even as I mentioned before, Will Smith, left back for Lancaster, he has been Bolton College through and through, one of the colleges at Lancaster University. He's now a graduate student. He decided to try out for the Uni Ones, and here he is playing on the pitch. So it really does make a difference, the turnover in play. They don't have a lot of time to work together throughout the year. I think Lancaster was stuck at it despite the challenges they faced in the league, and I think it still makes for a good second half.
Absolutely, yeah. It's in the balance. You know, one goal is all it takes, and it's even Stevens again. So it'd be interesting to see how the subs affect the game. I think that would be big if the scores remain fairly even. I think the subs will make a big difference. So that's obviously the manager's decision, and perhaps a bit of their expertise will come into play in the second half there.
We have the Lancaster team has now resumed onto the pitch, just waiting on the referee. I think everyone seems a bit raring to get going. This again refers to the passion that we talked about before. Really want to get stuck into this game. This final 45 minutes, show what they're worth. Lancaster obviously coming from a goal behind. They really want to get that goal back in and prove to the large home supporters that are lining this bank what they can do and why they deserve to be the Uni Ones.
So yeah, I think the referee is
on his way.
On his way, yeah. The officials are on their way back out now, so we'll be back underway shortly.
They're having some sound issues at the moment. So match officials are now striding back onto the pitch, so we will have over the bar to the ironic jeers of the
These
home
are those
crowd.
chances that we were talking about before. Really need to start taking them from both sides. I think York, they've managed to get the second there. They could really put the pressure on Lancaster and maintain their lead.
We must apologise for any of the language that our Atmos mic picked up on the left-hand side, and that none of that has offended you in any way. Ball now on the left wing, and it's back. Sorry, the right wing now attacking for York with Freddie Land, and that's dealt with by Lancaster. Ball now into the middle of the pitch. I'll take it away and look to switch it over to the left-hand side. Now it cuts back infield. Through ball looking for Edgerton, and does the flag stay down? It does, and he's in, and the low finish is just wide. First major clear-cut opportunity. We were saying that Lancaster hadn't really had any of them in the opening 45. That was the first one they've had here.
Absolutely, yeah. A bit of a poke from the Lancaster forward there. Those are the sorts of opportunities that you need to take. But you know, as I say, long way to go yet. So potentially more chances to come for Lancaster.
Yes,
it gives hope, even if that one didn't necessarily go in. It gives the hope for Lancaster that they're starting to build the pressure, see some more opportunities up in front of goal, and I think they'll hope that they can continue to build on that throughout the second half.
Here's Jack Allen, who was judged to have fouled his opponent, and a free kick. And it looks like they're wanting to get a wall together here. So it's just a one-man wall. It's quite far out. Lancaster have shown that they can be a threat from set pieces. So maybe that's something that you're taking into account.
Yeah, absolutely. Every set piece is a threat when you have players on the pitch with quality at the level of Uni Ones.
Keeper looks to come up from Max Day. He drops it, but it's cleared away up towards Ollie Gray. And Ollie Gray's done just that. Archie Henderson is steaming ahead inside of him. He's still got possession here. Crosses into the penalty area. Bradley Wood is the only player in white in the penalty area, and he couldn't latch onto that one. Ball cleared away. It's back now with Jack Allen though. He'll look to take the shot on maybe. No, he spread it to Freddie Land. Freddie Land challenged. The ball drops into the penalty area. Darnell gets his body in the way of the ball and Ollie Gray. And it trickles into, or drops I should say, into the arms of Rhys Chayton. Calls for a Lancaster throw from Edgerton, which the referee agrees with, and it's now a throw in for Lancaster.
I think Lancaster need to look to be a bit more direct in the second half. You know, they've shown good qualities in the first half, but they need to be more direct, find a splitting ball perhaps, and take a clinical chance.
Long throw into the penalty area. Flick on. Can someone in red connect? Not quite. Bradley Wood goes to meet the loose ball in his own half. Back to Keelan Lennon. Looks to play direct. He can only find, I should say, the right boot of Jack Critchlow striding out of defence. And it's now into the midfield with John Lowe. John Lowe steps to the left of his opponent, shoots low. It's in his name, shoots low, but it's into the arms of Max Day. No trouble there.
Shots on target, can't hurt Lancaster. Builds up the confidence.
Stretton now into the midfield in Jack Allen. Spreads it to the right. And Connor Atwood gets it all wrong. That's quite unfortunate. And the ball was hit out for a throw into Lancaster on the left-hand side, which is taken quickly. Lancaster not standing on ceremony. A flick on from Charlie Simmons. Dealt with by Josh Cayley. Here's Connor Atwood again. Looks to knock it into the midfield. It's dealt with. And that's decent feet there from Lancaster's number 8 in midfield, Nick Woodhams. York looking, sorry, it's Lancaster looking for a free kick for a foul from Connor Atwood, and it has been given. A free kick to Lancaster, which captain Harry Topless is going to take. Won his last two Roses fixtures. And I'll not want to give this one up. We were talking earlier about the passion behind these fixtures, as big as they are.
Yeah, I mean, as the captain, it's your job to carry that, you know, to encourage the players, and it's not going to be lost on Harry Topless, the captain, how much this means, and it's his job really to drill that into the first years. Obviously, their first experience with this sort of fixture. It won't be lost on the second and third years and even fourth years who have been here a while.
Archie Henderson showing good strength there on the right-hand side. Looks to play it infield. Darcell deals with it. Topless to Lowe, sorry. Thinking of the Game of Thrones character Jon Snow, which is not the name of Lancaster's defensive midfielder. The goalkeeper's kept the ball in play here. Now the game just slows down a little bit. Picks it up, looks to take it up direct.
Yeah, this is what York will be looking for really, is a bit of a slowdown. Obviously they hold the lead at the moment, they hold the advantage, so any slowdown, they don't want to get dragged into you know, into a high-paced second half, you know, with the ball flying up.
Ball cleared away, no risks taken from the left back Will Smith.
Ooh, a lovely touch on return from the crowd there.
Will Smith,
I think that was a Uni 2's. Uni 2's player in the crowd there, lovely touch back into onto the field of play to applause from the crowd.
Uni 2's for Lancaster saw quite success, didn't they, in their fixture before this one?
Yeah, great result for those guys. Again, another competitive game, but they show their quality more so in that game.
Henderson with a long throw into the penalty area, dealt with initially by Will Smith. Comes out and Topless will take charge, looks to clear. Ricochets off the thigh of Connor Atwood. Now Connor Atwood again, looking for Henderson. Strong challenge from Will Smith, and he's missed the ball. And it is a free kick for York. Right on the left wing. And there's one thing we spoke of as well, it's discipline, isn't it? As you can hear the noises behind us, the raucous, just equally your raucous crowd behind us cheering on the men's rugby, which is that the men's first?
Rugby 2s.
Maybe 2s.
Yeah, I believe
men's 2s rugby, which you can also catch on roseslive.co.uk. For all updates on all the fixtures, that's where to go as well as the scores on the doors currently in roses overall stands at 114 to 68. So no updates just yet on the fixture, on the score overall, I should say. Free kick. Referee gets in position. It's Keelan Lennon, the Irish youth football player. It hasn't beaten the first man. Shot comes in, blocked once again. And Lowe looks to stride away possession. It's brilliant play from Lowe. And Lowe now looks to play it early towards Simmons. It's a bit of a vicious pass, wasn't it? He did well to control initially.
Asking a lot of the attacker there, I think.
Throw in for Lancaster, and a Lancaster player has gone down just on the left-hand side. I think, was that a ball to the face, possibly?
I believe so. A bit of a hard hit there. So obviously need to make sure that he's okay. Paramedics on standby, of course. Well, the medics are just ready on the touchline, so all the faith is with them to take care of the players. But that responsibility also somewhat lands on the players themselves, doesn't it? And we've seen a couple more hefty challenges in the second half, so let's hope that they can reel them in and keep the game nice and clean. Yeah, obviously, you know, it's a contact sport at the end of the day, but, you know, tired legs and the challenges get a bit more last ditch. You know, you're striding on tired legs. It's a bit more difficult to control yourself, but obviously, yeah, discipline needs to be shown by both teams, and I'm sure we won't have any problems with that.
Well, thankfully the Lancaster player is okay, and so play will resume now with a throw-in for York in their left-back position. Keelan Lennon throws it in to Connor Atwood. Back with Max Day. Josh Cayley now goes direct, looking for Ollie Gray, looking to run around the outside of the Lancastrian centre-back, which is Jack Critchlow. Connor Atwood comes in with a sliding challenge. There's Bradley Wood. Decent 1-2. Wood goes steaming after it, and he gets there. Looks to take on the Lancaster right back, Matt Allen, and he's done well. Linesman signals for a corner, which the referee then points to. Over goes Bradley Wood to take it. Product of the Leeds Academy is Bradley Wood, so he's a white rose through and through. Takes the corner kick short. Strong challenge from Allen, but a strong one. And a curling shot there from from Bradley Wood into the arms of the Lancaster goalkeeper. No problems at all. There's Lowe. Now Smith. That is quite an intriguing battle, isn't it? Archie Henderson up against Will Smith, two very attacking fullbacks. Who do you think's winning that battle at the moment?
Well, there's been some juicy challenges on both ends of it. I think, yeah, as you say, both players looking to overlap their respective wingers and get forward. It's difficult to know. Obviously, they're not marking each other, so they're not always with each other. But I think it's fairly even battle so far.
Here is Nick Woodhams. There's Lowe again, fighting the captain. His streak of 2 consecutive Roses wins may well be under threat as we reach the latter stages of the game if Lancaster fail to get an equaliser. Cayley goes direct. And I think York are calling for a indirect free kick there. They are absolutely certain that Jack Critchlow had touched that ball down before the ball went through to Rhys Cherton.
Ball goes deep into the crowd there.
Yeah, and it hits the glass wall, the glass panelling to the side of the sports centre.
In the gym there might have got a bit of a scare.
Oh, now we have 2 balls on the pitch. So in Will Smith is going to take it. Keelan Lennon with a Di Canio-esque clearance up the pitch there. As the Lancaster men's rugby 2s behind us, striding out ready to go. Flares have been set off, creating almost a smoke screen kind of effect that the players are running out of running through out of the back of the guard of honour provided by the Lancaster faithful. Corner kick for York, and it's Keelan Lennon, experience in the Northern Irish youth football setup. And the threat from set pieces, left footer. So it'll be an in-swinger in towards, well, the front or back post. Let's see where it goes. And it goes, Josh Cayley! Second goal for York! Look what it means to him, a knee slide and an unlikely goal scorer. Lancaster, for all the threat that they posed from set pieces in the first half, York have just scored a set piece of their own. Brilliant in-swinger from Keelan Lennon, and it's Josh Cayley. Towering header, 2-0 York.
It's a good header in the box there, very good header. You can see what it means to the fans. White flares being thrown off, keepers up the pitch, getting involved in the team celebrations.
Yeah, just highlights the danger, obviously, when the game's in the balance like that. You know, set pieces are always a threat, and it was a fantastic delivery, met with a fantastic header.
There's a white flare that's been set off in the right back position for Lancaster. Hopefully that doesn't impair the player's vision too much. Smoke will very quickly clear the field. 2-0 to York. Ollie Gray in the first half, slotting through a neat through ball into the left-hand corner of the net. And similar sort of positioning from that header. Ball goes direct to Edgerton after it. Max Day dives on the ball. Might be a bit early for that.
Yeah, they have to be careful not to get desperate here, Lancaster.
Indeed, he's up straight away. It's Max Day.
Still enough time to affect the game from open play, so they need to stick to their guns so far and maybe let the subs affect the game as well.
Lost that York left winger there in the white smoke as they go down the left-hand side. The ball gone out for the goal kick.
Which Lancaster player do you think is most likely to try and get the spark going again?
I think we see Lancaster captain is taking all the set pieces. You know, in times like these, the players, especially maybe the younger players, are going to look to the captain for a bit of leadership and an example set. So I think Lancaster's captain number 10 is a good shout for being able to provide that. As we say, set piece is always so dangerous in fixtures like this.
Yeah, we've seen all throughout this game as well how Thomas is whips in from the set pieces. Really threatening ball. Just hopefully for Lancaster at some point they'll be able to get someone on the end of it and get that ball in the back of the net. They could really do with a goal at some point. Just try and get some sort of momentum back. I think York are riding the wave of their 2-0 lead at the moment.
Substitution for Lancaster. Darnell is off. And he's had a very solid performance, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's done everything that's been asked of him. A good finish and a set-piece goal. You know, from a defender's perspective, it's frustrating to come off at 2-0 down, but I think he can hold his head high for his performance.
Indeed, he can. So just joining us live on the main stream at roseslive.co.uk. York are 2-0 up against Lancaster in the men's football first tie. One of the most anticipated fixtures in the Roses calendar. Header from Archie Henderson goes the opposite way to the way he was hoping, and Stretton does well. His clearance cannoning off of the body of Edgerton, left winger for Lancaster. It is now a goal kick. They've taken it short. It's the goal scorer, Josh Cayley. Now across to his partner, Stretton. That's a decent ball looking for Archie Henderson. First time cross, well defended by Will Smith.
Wind also starting to pick up a little bit now, which is going to affect the play. Wind blowing in the direction of York attack. So obviously, you know, as a player playing a ball through, you have to adjust your technique, anticipate that the wind's going to affect the ball, and as a defender as well, it's a bit more difficult to anticipate the flight of the ball when the wind's going harder like it is.
Yes, there also has been a substitution for York, and it's Ben Sturgeon, the centre mid, who has come onto the pitch. Trying to see who, it's Freddie Lyons who he's replaced, number 6 for York, a towering figure in that centre midfield. And is that just a sign of just the wear and tear side of football starting to come into effect? Some tired legs out there.
Yeah,
and in the midfield is the region of play where you want to keep things active and moving.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the engine room, isn't it? So you need to keep players on the pitch that have got enough legs to make the difference. Obviously 2-0 is still, it can be a precarious scoreline, can't it? So yeah, you need as much fresh legs on as possible.
Throw in is taken. Tunnicliffe. Jack Allen spins away well with the ball. The ball might break for Simmons here. Josh Cayley gets his body in the way. Oh, and the back pass to the goalkeeper may have been a little bit short, but Max Day deals with it, and he'll be looking to keep that clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best feelings as a keeper and as a defender as well. That's your goal as a striker. Your clean sheet for a defender is a similar achievement. So that's what they'll be looking to do.
I think there's a ball switch that's happening at the moment. Throwing now for Lancaster. Looking for the flick on. Headed away. And is that a foul? Yes, it is. Free kick for York. Again, I think we call that an unsportsmanlike challenge, preventing an attacking opportunity.
Yeah. And referees tend to go to their book for those sorts of challenges.
There's Keenan Lennon standing over the ball now. Free kick, where's he going to go? Well, Archie Henderson again is making himself available. It has gone short to Freddie Land. Right winger for York. Stretton. Every outfield player for York inside the Lancaster half, maybe a sign of their dominance in the second half.
Number 2 hits the deck for York, but nothing doing according to the ref.
Jack Allen, strong header. Another header up, but not so much away. Some battles there from in between York and Lancaster, and a free kick for handling the ball as the Lancaster player, I believe that is, if I can consult my notes, that is Nick Woodhams, who I think he went down looking for the challenge, didn't he? And he just
yeah, absolutely.
And he grabbed the ball and was. Yeah. We see football players do that quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, you're sort of looking for the ref's whistle before you handle the ball, but it never came, so the ref had no choice but to blow there for a handball.
It's a promising looking free kick this for York. It's not too close, but it's in a good position. We've got lots of attackers up trying to get on the end of this. Maybe even a shot potentially.
It's a long way out, isn't it? Look, good 30 yards out. It is Keenan Lennon standing over it. Keenan Lennon delivers in towards the back post. Good header away from Critchlow, corner kick. And this might be a stage in the game where York could kill it for good.
Yeah, I think an important 10 minutes to come. If Lancaster get a goal, certainly the momentum's with them. And I think naturally as a team defending the lead, you start to sit back a bit more and invite pressure. But as you say, if York get the next goal, then it could be game over for Lancaster.
Cross in from the left from Bradley Wood, in swinger from left. So there's Archie Henderson. Oh, and the ball bobbles through eventually to the goalkeeper. Ricocheted off of the shin of substitute Ben Sturgeon. Now Chatham clears the ball upfield. Bounces once, not twice. Josh Cayley there heading it to Henderson.
York doing a good job of neutralising Lancaster here a little bit, stifling them and shutting down all of their attacking pressure. Again, I think it's going to be a moment of quality, if anything, from Lancaster that brings them out of this game.
Throw in now for Lancaster. Lancaster for York. Getting the colours confused now. Throw-in goes long. Touchdown by Freddie Land. Now Will Smith. Oh, a neat bit of footwork there from Henderson. He was clipped. Referee will allow play to continue. Touchdown neatly from the Lancaster substitutes to Will Smith. Henderson up headering. And a decent touch from Stretton to get the ball down. And he switched it to Bradley Wood. Product of the Leeds Academy. White Rose through and through. Now onto the edge of the penalty area. Goes, and it's might have been deflected off a York body, but the goalkeeper doesn't want to take any risks.
No, absolutely not. And the keeper's going to look to get the ball up quicker now. Obviously, it's crunch time for Lancaster. They need to get up the pitch, so the keeper's going to look to distribute quickly from now on, I think.
I think York have done a pretty good job at using the entire pitch as well. I wouldn't say that either wingers had right and trying to sort of put pressure on both of the fullbacks for Lancaster.
Will Smith throws it back, and Lowe looks to poke it on. Jack Allen working so hard in the midfield there, putting his body on the line. Cleared away. Freddie Landers going to keep that on. It's going to be a throw-in again for York. And I think it doesn't matter how progress is made up the pitch for Lancaster, so long as it actually comes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it gets to the stage now where anything in an attacking sense is good. As I say, try not to be too desperate and maybe not commit too many bodies forward. Obviously, York will be looking to counter, I'm sure, if they now sit back and try and defend this lead.
Just hit the 70-minute mark as well here in the men's days football. 20 minutes to go for Lancaster to try and make up this 2-goal deficit, 2-0 down against York. Hopefully for them they can try and capitalise on some sort of attacking play that they might be able to get out of this and get a goal back and try and use that momentum.
Throw in for Lancaster again. York are doing a pretty good job of putting their bodies on the line and just halting the play, interrupting the flow whenever possible.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been no, I think, extended spells of possession for either team, which obviously now massively plays into York's hands as they hold a 2-0 lead. For Lancaster, they want to hold the ball. They want to keep building pressure up and maybe inviting a mistake from the defence. But as you say, York are doing a good job of breaking it up so far.
Free kick for York. And Josh Cayley is over it, and they might be looking to kill the game now with Josh Cayley, centre-back, taking it. Stretton, the only player back, everyone else in the Lancaster territory.
Yeah, you can't fault the commitment to scoring. Obviously, it can be easy defending a lead to just sit back and invite the pressure on. But yeah, it looks like they're trying to get a third, which is good to see.
It's gone quite quiet from the crowd here on the left by the sports centre, by the building. I think the home crowd could really do with getting some cheers going, lifting up the players. I think the Lancaster team, with 20 minutes to go, they could really do with the boost of energy, boost of morale, and knowing that the entirety of the home supporters are behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you do need that lift as a player. You know, it gets difficult in these moments.
Here's Jack Allen, reverse pass looking for Henderson. He gets there, and free kick against Archie Henderson there on Edgerton. But I'm sure York won't mind that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think, like you say, keep breaking the play up. You know, there's been a lot of free kicks in this game, and a lot of corners for quite a while now, which, yeah, as you say, plays perfectly into York's hands as it stands.
There's Ollie Gray, first time looking for a run of his teammates, and a neat ball they're looking for. I believe that's Will Eller. It is a very good challenge. I think the ball does eventually deflect off of the York player and out for a goal kick. That's Will Eller, who's made his way onto the pitch as a substitute. Goal kick now taken short. Here's Will Smith. Edgerton makes himself available. Clips it in, and that will run hard. Hands away.
Time ticking away now for Lancaster. Perhaps it's now time to go to a more direct approach. Interestingly, no more subs on so far.
Ball hit into the penalty area direct. There's Will Eller who goes up for it. Keeper's missed it. Ollie Gray could get his second. Deflect. My forward Jack Allen, who rifles in a third. What a finish. That could well and truly be game over. Max Day joins in the celebrations. Right in that top left corner of the pitch, the way York are looking at it. They've worked so hard, as has Jack Allen. And wow, what composure from the 20-year-old there.
Yeah, fantastic finish. It's sometimes coming across your body like that, it can be difficult. It's easy to slice those, you know, especially if you're trying to play them with power. So it's a great finish, and I think that could be tentatively game over for Lancaster, sadly.
I think if Lancaster want to get anything out of this game now, they really need to step things up. Like Aaron said, take the more direct approach, maybe a time for a substitution to try and get at least a goal back from in the next few minutes, really.
Lancaster look a bit bereft, don't they, for all the hard work they've put in going forward in the second half. That really is a sucker punch.
Yeah, it's very deflating, and you can see that, you know, it's not like Lancaster have rolled over and let this happen. You know, they've been competitive through and through. But yeah, I think York have been, you know, really faultless with taking their chances. So
Jack Allen, the goal scorer of the third goal, looks very up to it. York exacting their press. They're still so full of running.
I think some of the supporters here seem to think it must be all over for Lancaster in the men's A football. A lot of them migrating over towards the men's rugby.
Indeed, men's twos rugby, which the stream you can find on roseslive.co.uk, which you should be able to find commentary on University Radio York and Balrog FM as well. We do apologise for any listeners on the radio who have migrated over to roseslive.co.uk for the technical
smoke is cleared now, so you should be able to see that game.
Yes, from the sort of guard of honour that the Lancaster faithful were giving their rugby players as they stepped out onto that pitch behind us. As it stands here, the 4 points from the men's football first match are going to York, and rightly so.
Yeah, I think up until sort of midway through the second half, it's been a fairly even game. The difference has been taking the chances, and you know, you can't fault the running, as you say. York's still full of running. Those goals do lift you up, and you know, they have taken the chances and they've played well. So all credit to them.
Throw in again, long from Archie Henderson. Connor Atwood does well to control the ball at first, but Lancaster's captain there battling for possession. Harry topless, and he's won a free kick. A bit of a shirt pull there, which the referee was not going to allow. Ball's gone direct towards Tunnicliffe, right winger. Sturgeon now has it. Will Eller makes a run outside of him. Instead it goes inside to Jack Allen. Lovely little shot away from low. Nice switch as well. Henderson has kept that in play, and he's done brilliantly to do that. And he'll look to cross into the penalty area. Not a decent, not a half a bad ball in. He'll have another opportunity here, and earns a corner.
Good block from Will Smith there, I think, to prevent that ball going into the box.
Yeah, I think the table could have taken a hit there without that.
Over comes Keelan Lennon to retrieve possession, to retrieve the ball for the corner kick.
York
they got their second goal from the corner. Can he do it again? We shall
York
see.
will be in no hurry to play these set pieces at this stage, even with a 3-goal lead.
Taken short. Keelan Lennon onside, has possession again, and a nice nutmeg from Edgerton there, but cleared away.
Although Lancaster seems to be losing this this game here in the men's A's football, it's important to say as well that other events are taking place. I've just been told that the women's plus darts.
Freddie Land tripped, free kick, and instantly 2 figures in white are walking over, Connor Atwood and Keelan Lennon.
Yeah, this is a dangerous area for Lancaster. These sorts of ones, maybe a touch close, if anything. Difficult to get it over the wall and back down to get it under the bar. But I'm sure an attempt will be made in any case.
Goalkeeper Rhys Chatton, he's let in 3 already. He won't want to concede a 4th. But multiple times he's done well when he's been called into action.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's been a couple of good finishes and a set piece, as we said about the Lancaster defender who came off. It's frustrating, but not much more he could do.
Referee blows his whistle. Atwood or Lennon. It is Keelan Lennon. It's not quite what he wanted. Over the bar it goes. No goal for him today, but 1 assist, and it's looking like a clean sheet as well for the Irishman. Northern Irishman, I should say.
Can't get that wrong.
Cannot get that wrong.
That is one of the more controversial ones.
I'll have to check with him after the game. Ball running loose, Lowe goes after it. Strong challenge from that man in question, Keelan Lennon.
Wants to, it's gone for a corner. Thought that was a goal kick to myself, but
Well,
corners to Lancaster on the far side.
the assistant referee over in that corner of the pitch is, we trust him. We trust that he's in the best position possible to see that.
I'd imagine as he's a lot closer than we are over here, I think he's probably in a better position to make the decision.
Perhaps you need to change the prescription on your glasses, Matt.
Yeah, I think that might be the case. Yeah.
Keelan Lennon is Irish. To clear up there, so I was right the first time. Ball is loose inside the box, and it could be an opportunity for Edgerton. Tunnicliffe swing and a miss inside the box.
Scrap around that penalty area there
And
for
cleared away.
Lancaster.
I think
Can't make anything of it.
they'll take anything, won't they, at this point?
Any little tap in, anything, as long as that ball goes in the back of the net, they'll really take anything right now.
Hit forward, looking for Ollie Gray. Flag stays down, and he could be one-on-one with the goalkeeper here. Defender comes across and does really well, but Ollie Gray holds him off for now, and he's done brilliantly, and he's escaped into the penalty area here, and he's managed to stay up, and he looks to shoot from the angle, and the ball might even look to be going out for a throw in there, as it
Pass there, took a deflection on the way. Weren't quite sure if that was going to go in the back far post or not. Just sneaked past on the wrong side for York there.
very, very close. There's going to be a substitution here for Lancaster. Off comes, that's Will Smith, who makes way. Could well be an attacking substitution for Lancaster, we will soon see.
Yeah, I think now's the time to throw the kitchen sink at it from a Lancaster perspective, roll the dice and see what we can make of it.
And another substitution, and it's the scorer of the third goal, Jack Allen. Off he comes, standing ovation for Jack Allen, has experience playing in football in Malaysia.
Standing ovation, to be fair. I think he's played really, really well. I think his goal was really clinical finish for his goal, and welcome into that dugout over there by the York.
Also a standing ovation for Jake Stretton, centre back here.